My first announcement, I guess, is quite straightforward and simple. After some contemplation and encouragement from friends, I have decided to run for Spitzenkandidat, lead candidate of the EPP party. Decision to be made on the 8th of November in Helsinki. I believe in the process itself. I think it's very important that we have European primaries, which will hopefully eventually lead to a democratic election of the President of the European Commission. As far as procedure is concerned, as of today, I have taken a 5-week unpaid leave of absence from the European Investment Bank. I do not think that the two tasks of running a campaign and being at the bank are compatible at this particular moment. As far as procedure is concerned, I will launch a program for the future of Europe on the 17th of October, on the eve of our EPP summit and 3 weeks before the actual Congress in Helsinki. In the meanwhile, I will spend the next 5 weeks traveling as much as I possibly can around Europe, discussing affairs European and trying to gather as much support as possible. I'll try to outline 3 things today. The first question that one has to pose in these types of situations is why to run to become the President of the European Commission. For me, the decision at the end of the day was very simple, and it was based on one word only, and that's values. I believe that European values are currently under attack from both outside the European Union, inside the European Union, and in our party proper. If we do not stick to our basic values, the basis of what we stand for in the European Union, in other words, human rights, fundamental rights, human dignity, freedom, liberal democracy, the rule of law. If we do not stick to these fundamental principles, including equality, we're left with nothing. The European Union is not an organization of left or right. It is based on those values which are enshrined in our treaty, very simply put, in Article 2. I think we have in Europe constructed one of the most successful models of society in the past 100 years. And that society is based on 3 pillars: liberal democracy, a social market economy, and fair globalization. How are they under attack? From the outside, the United States, China, and Russia are only small examples. From the inside, I look at countries such as Poland and Italy, and why not Hungary? And in the campaign, I will make it clear that without these values, we cannot take the European project forward. I firmly believe that in the past century, we have seen 3 ideologies dominate the Western world: fascism, communism, and liberal democracy. Fascism died in 1945. Communism died in 1989. And I do not want to see 2016 with Brexit and the election of Donald Trump and the rise of populism be the death nail for our way of life, liberal democracy. And I'm ready to stand on the barricades and defend these. Second question I pose today is about my vision on Europe. Many of you will know pretty much what I stand for. I see myself as a center-right, moderate, pro-European candidate. I firmly believe in the process of European integration. I have always seen it more as a force for good rather than evil. I also believe that the European Union has always been and will always be more than an international organization, but less than a state. I think we need to find pro-European positive solutions. There are too many people around Europe and the world who are right now trying to lead by inciting fear and hate. And I don't think fear and hate takes us anywhere. We need to talk more about opportunities. We need to talk about hope. And I need to push for that. Having said that, I do think, having been Prime Minister foreign minister and finance minister, and also been on the European side of things in all different council formations and especially the European Parliament, we need to have more national ownership in the European project. I want to see more heads of state government defend and work for Europe rather than against Europe. And that's very important to keep in mind. I'll also try to push for a very pragmatic and constructive Europe as we move along. I want more Europe rather than less Europe. Final and third point is it's all well and good to say that one, you defend values, two, you're pro-European. But what will I try to do in practice in the coming 5 weeks? I intend to take on populism head on, but I intend to do that in a pragmatic way. In Finland, we have experiences of dealing with populism. We took the True Finns into government in 2015. And with responsibility comes power, and often with power comes problems. I'm not saying that the Finnish solution of hugging populism to death is the right way to go about it. Absolutely not. What I'm trying to say is that we have to listen to what these people have to say. There are legitimate fears that people have related to migration, related to the technological or digital revolution, or related to the future of work. And these are fears that need to be addressed before it's too late. I quite often say that the first industrial revolution brought with it Marxism. I'd hate to see what the fourth industrial revolution brings with it if we don't do anything about it. I think we need to have a future-looking European Commission which understands artificial intelligence, which understands robotization, and which understands the types of fears that people have about their own future. Will there be any quick fixes, as the populists suggest? No. We live in an extremely complex world, and it's going to be an uphill battle. But if we don't start tackling that now, I think we will lose this battle. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this basis, on the basis of values, on the basis of a pro-European vision, and on the basis of pragmatic solutions, I throw myself into the race for becoming the lead candidate of the EPP for the European Commission. And I do that by wanting at least to be the candidate of next generation Europe. Albeit I admit I got bifocals on Saturday, so I'll be the next generation with bifocals. But nevertheless, I'll be able to try to look up and down while I do it.